Hi, it's Natalie again. So today video is dedicated to my daughter Natalia, and it starts with a story. When before I got pregnant with her, I had this frog. I had this big, huge 60-gallon fish tank, and I had all these big, beautiful fish, but I had this frog. And one day, this frog jumped out of the fish tank, and he jumped clear across the entire floor, and we couldn't find him anywhere. And the next day, my husband found him, and he was all like fragile, like he is like dehydrated, and he had lint all over him. And I had found him like clear across the house, and we put him back into. But he was alive still, so we put him back into the fish tank. And he was weak, but he got strong and got better. But he was always still kind of, strong, or he still was still always really small after that. And then a couple weeks later, he got sucked up into the cleaner, or the cleaning filter, and I freaked out, and I pulled him out, and his eyes were all bulging, and they were red and whatever, but I helped him, and I did some healing work on him, and he got better. And then a third time, I honestly can't remember what happened. Something bad happened again, and his legs got tangled. I think they almost got ripped off, but I was able to save him, and he got better again. And I got pregnant, and I was rocking my little baby girl. She was 3 weeks old, and she was a little different. From the moment she was born, she had to sleep between me and her dad. She would cry and cry unless she was right between the two of us. And there was always a really, really special feeling about her. Even the midwife that delivered her started crying, and she's like, her soul is so beautiful. She's like, I deliver a lot of babies, but there's something special about this one. Well, at 3 weeks old, I was rocking her, and I would have to rock her back and forth on the couch to get her to burp, because she didn't burp like a normal baby. And I'm looking over this fish tank, and this most overwhelming feeling comes over me, and it goes, she has the same soul as that frog. So this story is about my Tallybugs. She was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy when she was 6 weeks old. She stopped moving. She was admitted to the hospital 3 times. And she came out of it every single time. Despite all odds, they told me she wouldn't survive, and she did. The third time, we had decided to let her go, and because I had fought so hard to keep her. I had done every alternative medicine possible. I'd done all the medical treatments. There was no cure for her. And she opened up so many of my spiritual abilities and talents and gifts, and she's the reason why I know how to do theta, and I'm a medium, and all these things that I can do in my dreams. And so when she was 8 months, or she was a year old, and she was in the hospital for the 3rd time, she was passing away, and the doctor, everybody was gathered around, and they had her on life support, and I'm like, hey, just take her off. And I'm holding her in my arms, and I just said, okay, baby girl, you can go home. And I says, it's now your, it's your choice now. I'm not going to force you to stay here anymore. And all of a sudden, she just, her energy shifted and changed, and I looked at her, and I'm like, she's sleeping. And the doctor's like, no, there's no way. He's like, she's passed away. And I'm like, no, she's sleeping. And so they put her back on the monitor, and sure enough, her oxygen was back up to normal, and her heartbeat was back up to normal. And I was able to take her home for 18 months and just hold her and rock her for those 18 months and just love her the way she was. I didn't have to change her. I didn't have to fix her. She was perfect just the way she was. This was her choice and her journey. And she just came here to be loved and to be held. And when she was passing away, I had gotten really, really sick. I was 8 months pregnant with my next baby, and she was so sick, and I had been up for a week, so I So I was exhausted, and so I told God, I said, you either need to make her whole or get her better. Because he had sent me another dream that she would be made whole in her 3rd year. And so I spent this entire time thinking she was going to get better. I fought the doctors. I did everything. I believed. They say you have faith of a mustard seed. Yeah, I should have frickin' moved mountains. I believed with all my heart she was going to get better. And so I had a dream that she would be made whole in her 3rd year. Anyways, and then I got sick because she was sick, and then I got sick for a week, and so I couldn't take care of her anymore. And so I said the prayer, you need to make her whole or you need to take her home. Well, the next day, I knew something was different, and things had shifted, and she hadn't cried all night, and the energy was different, and I took her off her BiPAP, and she started to code. And then I saved her again, and then she, we did this all day back and forth, and I just knew. I just looked at her eyes, and she was just exhausted, and I could just see she was done. And so I turned to my husband, and I said, baby, she's ready to go. And he just started crying and screaming, save her, you've saved her 1,000 times, save her again. But a mom knows when their baby's ready to go. She was ready to go. So I turned to him, and I just said, no, babe, she's ready to go. But what was beautiful about this was her monitor had come down. She was like her heartbeat was like almost nothing. Her oxygen was nothing. And all of a sudden I hear this voice go, bye, Mom, like so excited, like me talking to you. Like it wasn't like a little voice. It was like, bye, Mom. And I'm like, bye, baby. And she's like, is Daddy going to be okay? Because my husband was bawling and screaming and crying. And I says, he'll be okay, honey. You can go. And she says, no, I'll wait for a minute. And all of a sudden her monitor comes back up to 50 beats per minute. And her oxygen levels out at the same. And I'm like, oh. I says, honey, she's waiting for you to let her go. And I walk out of the room. And I let him have a good hour with her. And her monitor just stays at this. And then he comes back and he says, okay, babe, I'm ready. So I walked into the room, and I said a prayer, and I said amen, and nothing. Like, she just kept that beat. And then my husband said a prayer, and he let her go this time. See, I had already done it. I had done it a year before. So she was with us, or 18 months before. So she was with us because she chose to be with us. But this was his turn to let her go. And as soon as he said amen, that monitor stopped. And so I know for a fact there's life after death, and that they make sure that we're taken care of before they go. That night when I slept, parents end up dealing with all sorts of trauma and pain for years after a baby like this passes, and I couldn't sleep all night, and we had, bathed her and taken care of her, and the mortuary came and picked her up, and I was trying to sleep, and I kept seeing this little girl running, and I was trying to catch her, and I couldn't, and I got mad at God. I'm like, why won't you just let me say goodbye to her? And all of a sudden I hear this little voice go, Mama, it's me. You want to see me running. Look, I'm running. So she came to show me that she had her legs. And then all of a sudden I felt this hand rub my back. And this is what she would do, is the only movement she really could do was her hand. And she would rub my back when she needed nursed, or rub my arm when she needed nursed. So I feel this hand rubbing my back, and she says, tonight, Mama, I put you to bed. And I have never had the trauma that other parents had. I felt right to sleep after that. And so I am super grateful that she took care of me. And I had so many blessings show up. She came to me several times. She's come to me in orb form twice already. During her funeral, she... It was funny because it was winter. It was, November 30th, so it was cold and it was snowy. But during her service, the sky parted, and it was a spring day. Nobody even wore a coat during the service, but as soon as it was over, the clouds came back. And I was really angry at God and Christ for a while after this experience. Because, I had the belief of a mustard seed. And a book was given to me. It's called The Peacemaker. And in the book, it talks about how Christ will come and lay all these gifts in front of you and ask for your forgiveness before you sin, before you get angry. And so that is what I was given. I was given all these gifts to know that she's okay and that she's better, and because I had done everything I was supposed to do. So today I'm going to share with you something very, very special. It's a song I wrote for her and that I would sing to her while she rocked. So, and I'm going to sing it a cappella because I would sing it to her a cappella. Music was later written for it, and at her funeral service I was able to sing it for her, and I gave the speech, and I didn't cry. I was so strong, and it was beautiful because after the service, a little girl came up. It was my niece, and she can see spirits, and she goes, "Who is the cute girl by you?" And she goes, "She was holding your hand the whole time." And she says thank you for her doll, and she loves her dress. So I had bought my daughter this beautiful white dress, and I had put a doll. Well, actually, the little girl said she was looking for her other doll. Anyways, so long story short, so I had a doll for her that she'd always have with her, but when she was buried, I kept the doll because I wanted it as a souvenir, and I gave her another doll. And so for this little girl to say this to me confirmed that my little girl was actually there standing with me, making me strong. But I might cry for you on this time. But I didn't cry at all the first time, so. Anyways, I'm going to sing this to you a cappella. Again, I haven't sung this for 8 years. Once she passed on, I put it in a box, and I put it away. But it's time. So, I'm going to give myself like 2 seconds to breathe so I don't cry, because I don't want to feel like I'm up on a church box. Soapbox. Me and my husband always tease people that talk in church because they always cry, and I'm like, I am not going up there. Anyways, whoosha. I was given an angel from heaven above to care for and hold and give all my love. She showed me the heavens and lifted me high. Sleep now, my angel, I'll rock you good night. You're my angel, you're my angel. Go to sleep, my little darling, rock-a-bye, my love. Go to sleep, my little baby, mama needs your love. I was told, my little angel, that we don't have long, that a mission you do, then you'd be gone. So I called every doctor, no cure to find. Down on my knees to the Father I cried, she's my angel, she's my angel. Please don't take my little angel, please don't take my love. Please don't take my little angel, I need her love. So you won, my little angel, and now you are free. Spread your wings, my little darling, let the whole world see you're a angel. You're my angel. You are safe, my little angel. You are whole, my love. You're my miracle Thanks for letting me share that with you. An interesting, a very cool circumstance that happened. You remember that vision I had that she'd be made whole in her 3rd year? Tally passed away at 2 years, 2 months, and 1 day, but we're technically in the womb for 9 months and 30 days. So she passed away on the 1st day of her 3rd year. Another cool thing that happened, I gave birth to another little girl 6 weeks later. We didn't know